And Kaizen leads, the Japanese says Kaizen leads you to Kairio, which is continuous improvement. So here you're moving from good change to continuous improvement. And there are a lot of things that you need to work on that. Promoting your values, of course, use of technology these days. And technology just doesn't necessarily mean IT only, but using tools like a diary, like a journal. That's a tool that you can use to begin to move yourself forward. Research, you can do that online, internet, that all part of tools that you can use. And then, of course, assessing your processes, how you do your stuff. How do you do your stuff? Are you systematic? Are you random? Are you scatterbrained? Are you everywhere? Do you plan? Do you write down? Do you journal? Those processes are important. And part of looking after yourself is saying, I live a good, healthy life. And then when you do that, you begin to live in Romans 12, verse 2. It is written, and be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that you may prove what is that good and acceptable, perfect will of God. And so God has got a perfect will for you. I mean, every person who is on this platform, God has got a perfect plan for you. He's got a perfect strategy. He's got a perfect end in mind. So God has already gone to the end of your life, and he has said, this is the perfect ending to your life. And he's very intentional about that. And that end is fulfilled when we enter into his glory and live with him for eternity. That's the perfect end, for us to live with God in eternity. But we can't do it in this body. We've got to transition from this body. That's why this body lives for a few years and then dies, and then is buried and rots. But the renewed life that God has given for us then translates into his presence and lives with him for eternity. That's the perfect plan is God. God is God for him. And with that perfect plan comes certain things that he has designed for us to accomplish while we are here on earth. Now, that doesn't always pan out as perfect as we anticipate and think of it, because remember, I said we are living in a world that is ruled by Satan. We are living in a world that is ruled by the evil one, and he comes to steal, kill, and destroy. So some people will have accidents. That's not God's plan. Some people will get sick. That's not God's plan. God's plan is for us to be fruitful, to multiply, to be effective ministers of his gospel, to love one another, to make a way for each other. But there's some things that are outside his control, in the sense that this world has been handed over to Satan, and he will come in and try and disorient us or remove us from understanding the clear path and plan that God has got for us. But continuous improvement requires us to activate certain principles, having values, living a life of values. Number two, using tools that have been made available to us. That's why we go to school. School is a tool. That's why we get money. Money is a tool. That's why we get vehicles. Those are tools. That's why we get technology to research. Those are tools. And then number three, ensuring that we have standardized processes of accomplishing and doing all that we do. So you'll realize that if we go back, Kaizen has to do with an internal outworking. It's the internal, the thinking, the heart, the spirit of an individual. Whereas Cairo has to do with the outward working, the physical outworking, the actual walking from point A to point B. And when we do this, that's how we are able to perfect Romans 12, verse 2, that I will not be conformed to the pattern of this world. What does that mean? It means I will not associate myself with people who perpetrate evil. How do you do that? Do you do that just by praying and speaking in tongues? No, you actually have to avoid certain places. You avoid certain people. You avoid certain behaviors when you do that. And you actually have to that begins to renew your mind. How does the renewing of your mind happen? It says by studying his word. So you actually have to take the Bible and read it, meditate on it, speak it, prophesy, preach it. You're actually doing something.